Hello my friends and welcome to MotoAcademy. I'm Polo and this is the Moto Breakdown. This is going to be part 2 of breaking down the Oxford Hot Grips Evo heated grips. So today we're going to be installing those grips on a 2019 Suzuki GSX-R. I personally have never done a grip replacement of any sort on any motorcycle, so this is groundbreaking for me. I don't expect it to be that difficult. One of the things actually that were brought up in those same instruction manual, is that it recommends not putting the heated grip cables next to the other wiring harnesses. That actually is a really good tip, because if it's saying that, it probably knows that these cables probably do give out electrical interference. So I'll probably find a different spot than connected to the same wires. There are a couple of important things that I must point out with this particular project. Number one, obviously the purpose of heated grips is to use them in cold temperatures. So with that in mind, make sure that you're dressing warmly. Otherwise, yesterday it was about 8 degrees, which ain't that bad, but if you're riding, it's not very comfortable. And I saw wearing hoodies riding yesterday without gloves, and that is just insane. If you are going to ride in the cold, make sure the rest of your motorcycle is dialed in. Make sure that you have tires that are good for cold weather riding. Make sure you have a comfortable environment to work in. Yeah, and make sure that you're mentally ready for this. Make sure you've gone to the bathroom and you're not going to get interrupted. You need to focus mentally on this, that kind of stuff. Before you begin any work on any motorcycle, I highly recommend that you have the service manual for your particular motorcycle. Okay, let's start to install some grips. I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is not get electrocuted. We're going to disconnect the battery. So this side cover here is actually pretty simple. One tab, Velcro. We're going to do the same to the other side. Easy peasy. So in this case here, you could just disconnect the negative terminal, but I'm going to go ahead and disconnect both. Be on the safe side of things. Alright, so I'm going to be starting on what's usually considered the easier of the two grips. We're going to get that bar end off. So that is a Japanese industry standard cross, so this particular screwdriver will not work. There we go. So what ended up working was the fattest Phillip head that I could find. And some kind of liquid coming out. Which reminds me, should probably put something to protect that. Alright, so I learned something very important. That bar end was not supposed to unscrew the whole thing, because this thing basically just it's basically a washer in there. So let me see if I can get the rest of this crap out. And that is that. Alright. Problem solved. Let's dig in here. All of the recommendations for this kind of stuff, they all say just use a screwdriver to loosen this stuff up. Ta-da! So I'm going to clean this up. Alright, so I did my best to clean this thing. It's not absolutely perfect. I tried a bunch of different things, so I used cleaning wipes with ammonia. I didn't want to use paint thinner because I didn't want to risk any damage to the motorcycle, so I kind of just went the best I could. It's kind of as good as it's going to get. I also used a steel wire brush. That helped a lot to get a lot of the grime off. So now I'm going to dry fit the left heated grip. Let's see how easy this goes on. Twist, 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 twist. Come on, you son of a... Really interesting, because I kind of felt the cable would point in that direction. As far as the bar end goes, so if I were to put the OEM bar end back in there, I would have to cut this little space from the end of the grip, but I'm not putting the OEM bar end. I'm going to put a lever guard in there. Let's check that out. Actually, probably not going to have to cut off the this little lip off of the grip, which is nice. Saves me a little bit of work. Looks like probably about there is where it's going to end up. Okay, next up, the control unit usually sits, yeah, that'll be a good spot for it actually. This is pretty soft, so it can be bent, thankfully. So that's what this would look like, more or less. Because there's nowhere else to put it. Let's go do the right side.